When you chant, what happens is you exhaust all your breath in the ah and do. Is it not true? It doesn't come up to But the Omkara Upasana we are doing, you have to, more importance is to be given to Amatra. Have you understood? So, if we have a Dhyanam, then what happens? That portion should become equal to A and U together. See, like this. It's not A, long, and then M will become very less. Have you understood? And if M becomes less, you cannot get the next thing, the silence. Amatra Om. We don't want Amatra Om. We want only waking in the world. That is the whole problem. So when you chant correctly, then you will see the A and U merges in the same way the dream world and the waking world merges into the Amatra, deep sleep world, and that deep sleep world also transcends all the transcending all the three, we reach the Amatra Om. That thought should come when we are chanting. Not merely Om, Om, Om. Not that. That is not. So now chant correctly. Okay? Take deep breath which will come to your Nabhi. And the Om should start from the Nabhi. And A must be finished quickly. Quickly doesn't mean that it is not. It has its own matra is there. Then you come to Brahmari Pranayam, that is. Okay? Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadajarya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smriti Purananam Arayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kratau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Samasta Jana Kalyane Niradam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayade girim Yet kripa tamaham vande paramananda madhavam. Achintyam avyaktam ananda shaktim shivam prashantam amridam brahmayonim tadadi madhyanta vihina megam vibhum chidanandam adbudam. That is for what? From Kaivalya Upanishad, to remember the nature of the Nirguna Brahman. Ajindyam, Avyaktam, Anandarupam, etc. etc. No, but I am not a Nirguna Upasaka, if you say. Then you say, Namaste astu bhagavan Vishveshwaraya Trambagaya Tripurantakaya Trigagnikalaya Kalagnirudraya Nilagandhaya Mrityunjayaya Sarveshwaraya Sadashivaya Shriman Mahadeva. For Saguna Upasana. Or maybe Krishna, maybe anything. Have you understood? So choice is yours, what you want. Or even the choice is not yours. To which level you have risen, according to that, these shlokas and all will change. Okay? So, which is better? Don't ask. All are better. To that person, is it not? How can you say? We cannot condemn, we are na virudhyate. We have already learned. Advaitin has no conflict with any other stand. The whole problem is, Advaita is talking about truth. You are talking about Avara Brahma. That is all the difference. Okay, but at its every stage, everything is valid. This is what Shastra says and this is what I believe. That you cannot say that Saguna, there are in the school there is some misconception. Like, if you take mathematics, physics, chemistry, you are very brilliant. If you take, suppose a child likes history, geography, that's also branches of knowledge. But then these other fellows look down upon them. That's also knowledge. Do you know history? And Gurudev used to say, if you don't know your own country's history, your education is imperfect. Because they don't know history only, they have got a very superficial idea about the country. They don't develop the, the patriotism. Nothing. The British history, what for? Indian history, do you know? No. Hey, that is not. Who wants to study Indian history? I have learned world history. I have learned American history. What for? American children don't know anything about India. When I went there, they still ask, the people are staying on the trees or what? That is their knowledge of India. We have got greater knowledge of America than the Americans have of India. So then all branches of knowledge are valid. For some reason they are studying that, or for some inclination is there, they study. That is all the difference. Here also, just because we are Nirguna Upasana, look down upon all the Saguna Upasana is wrong and wrong. Have you understood what I am trying to say? That Saguna Upasaka, like the tortoise and the hare story, he may reach the highest before you sometimes. So what is the point? Both are on the path. Sometimes he will reach faster because he has got the grace of the Lord also. I am not advocating. As a Vedantin, I cannot advocate Saguna Upasana. But in case you are a Saguna Upasaka, don't get worried. That Saguna Upasana itself will take you to Nirguna Prapti. So, all this differentiation is only Ajnana Krita. Okay, now we go to the Yonta Pravishyamavajamimam Prasuptam Sanjeevayatya Akhila Shakti Dharasvadhamna Anyamscha Hastacharana Shravanattogadin Pranan Namo Bhagavade Purushaya Tubhyam. Now what am I supposed to do? Gurudev had said everything. Shall we go to the 31st or 32nd? So the 28th verse says, very easy verse that is, 26th and 27th are very, what, 25th? 25th and 26th are very important verses. Sambhudim, the Karya, Karana, Nishetham. Karya also is rejected, Karana also is, Karanatvam of Brahman is also rejected. And the Karya Prapancham is also negated because it's only Mithya. Is Brahman the Karanam? That also is negated. For a Mithya world, there cannot be a real Karanam. It can appear like the snake appears in the rope, no doubt. But it is not real. That appearance is not real. So, Karya Karana Bhavam is not acceptable to the Vedantin. That is what Gaudapada says in these two verses. And you have to study it again and again till that knowledge becomes internalized. Sadohi Mayaya Janmam Yujyade Nadu Tattvadaha. So therefore, if you see a world appearing from, and you attribute it to the infinite, the law, the Paramatma, Sadohi Mayaya Janmam. If you are seeing Janma of the world, that is Maya. That is mere illusion. It is a perception. Yujyade nadu tattvadaha. But in reality, nothing has come out. What I see? What you see need not be always. The experience is no, I have told you so many times, experience is no proof of reality. Just because I experience it, it is no proof of reality. I experience the blue color of the sky, but it is not real. I experience the sun rising in the east, not real. Sun doesn't rise at all. Nor does it set. So what am I seeing? A mithya. That is also mithya. What is the truth? Truth is sun never moves. We are moving around the sun. I am not telling you this. Scientists have said. Have you understood? This one example can give you. What am I seeing? A world plurality which is not real, says the Shastra. But I am seeing it. It's not an argument because you are seeing so many things which are not real. Hence, experience is no proof of reality. This you must firmly understand. Then only you will understand all this. It is mithya, we go on saying. So, tattvado jayade yasya jadam tasya hi jayade. In case if you see, in truth, the Brahman has become the world, that is Parinamavadam, or Brahman is the cause of this world, from Brahman alone all this has come, then like the seed and the tree, the seed will have to disappear. So if from Brahman the world has come, the Brahman has to disappear, which we are not going to accept. Because we cannot accept, Shruti doesn't say so. Have you understood? So, or if you say Brahman has modified to become the world, then it is like, then also Brahman is not there. Why? like the milk becoming curd, and when the curd you get, there is no milk. Have you understood how we deny both these vadas? Then what? But I am seeing the world. Then you say, if you are seeing a world, it is vivartam. This is very clear, I suppose, to all of you. How many times I have said this? Very clear. So what I am seeing is a vivartam, an illusory perception. Yes, I understood that. Jadam tasyahi jayade. When the unborn to go with this view of the dualist, the Brahman has to be born again and again. Jadam hi tasya jayate. And how long? Anavastha. And when was he born? We don't know. You understand? Anavastha dosham will come. So we cannot accept it. The Brahman is ajadi. Never born. Brahman is never born, and nothing is born from Brahman. Is the truth, says Gaudapada here. But some people say, from the karya you can infer a anumanam. Okay, pratyaksha pramanam is not there. Anumana pramanam. Why can't we? What do you say? Infer a karanam for this karya. What is the karanam for the snake? Really? Ajnanam. Rope is not a karanam. Is it not? In the rope. But rope should be there. There is a relationless relationship. Rope is not there. You have no chance of seeing the snake. So also Brahman should be. Brahma is the Satyavastu. Like rope is the Satyavastu for that illusory snake you are seeing. Brahman is the Satyam Adisthanam for this multiple world you are seeing. Sataha. So he says, by that karyam of a mithya world, mithya prapancha, we say there is a karanam, but that karanam is not also real, because mithya world can have only mithya karanam. The karanatvam of Brahman is denied. Neither karya is there, nor karana is there. So why you are seeing all this? Don't know. Why? Because something is wrong with my drishti. Like the man who has got cataract sees 2 moons and 3 moons instead of one. The oneness is the only truth. Okay, so we have to come to prove. If you go on inquiring about the karanam, we come to the conclusion that Brahman is ajam, amaram, avyayam. All these words are there. And if I am seeing a jagat in it, it is only due to maya. Mayaya vidyade, varishchinnade. This is the fundamental of all these arguments. You are established in that, I hope. If you are not established still, God save you. Maybe next year when I ask you would have become established, I have a hope. You understand? In this Vada Gadi of Gaudapada, we have to become firmly established. Otherwise, the rest of the Mandukya will be lost to you. Now he says, Asato Mayaya Janma Tattvato Naiva Yujyate Vandhya Putro Na Tattvena Mayaya Vapi Jayate You can see the subtle humor of Gaudapada in this. He says, just like from the asat, from a non-existent thing, nothing can be born. Asado Mayaya. Even with Maya there cannot be anything. Because it is not there. So it cannot give birth to something. From a asat, even with Maya there cannot be any birth. And truly there is no birth. Both Paramarthada Mayaya. In both ways there cannot be a birth from a non-existent thing. Only when from an existent thing you can see the rope is relatively, the rope is existent, the snake is not exist. That snake is appearing, it is an appearance, but that appearance depends upon the existence of the rope, is it not? There is Sat in that. Similarly, this world of plurality which we see depends on Brahman, which is existence principle. Sataha, there in the previous verse it said, only from a Sadvastu there can be Sadohi Janma. Maya, even to see a Maya world, there should be an existent Adhishtanam. We cannot call it Karanam. It is the Adhishtanam. We cannot call the rope the Karanam of the snake. In the same way, we cannot call Brahman the Karanam of the world. The world appears in that existence something. But nothing is there. Asataha, from the non-existent something, neither by Maya nor by Tattvam, by reality, anything can be born. And he gives a beautiful example, Vandhya Putro. The barren woman cannot give birth to a child either by Tattva or by Maya. Maya also cannot give. You see, even Maya can work only if there is an existence, Adhishtanam. Have you understood? This must be understood correctly. Sataha. Don't take the word Vachyartham, you must not take. Then the previous verse will give you the idea that from Brahman everything has come. Because Brahman is Sat. Not that way. It should be there. Their Adhishtanam should be there for you to see something. Misconception can be only in an Adhishtanam. Okay. So it should be there first. Ishness is there. And in that Adhishtanam, which is existent, you can see a Maya world. Nothing wrong. You are misunderstanding that what you are seeing. That is all, a Maya. But with nothing is there means you cannot either see a Maya world or a real world. Similarly here from a Vandhya Putra cannot be born either with Maya, either by Maya or by or in reality. It is not there. Vandhya Putra does not exist. Is it clear? So 28th verse, a Vandhya cannot give birth either really or apparently. Because she is a Vandhya. Something is wrong somewhere. So she will not give birth. Okay. So the Asat Khadi of the Nayayikas are negated here totally. There are so many Khadi. We have learned it before. Satkaryavadam, Asatkaryavadam, Anyadha Khadi. All those Khadis are there. And he says the Nayayikas say are negated totally. From the Asat alone, this world has come. How can anything come from Asat? How can anything come from a non-existent something? So what is negated here? The Asat Khadi of the Nayayikas. So in Chandogya In Chandogya also they say, Sat alone, one non-dual Sat alone was there. How can Sat be born of Asat? So even if a Mithya world only is there, but that Mithya world also should have existence for you to see. At least you think it is existing. Existence principle can come only from existent something, not a non-existent something. Nasado vidyade bhavaha, nabhavo vidyade sadaha. Abhavam will not be there in Sat, and Sat will not be there in Asat. So it cannot be, says here. And continuing, he says, I am not explaining too much because you know and you get bored. Same thing again and again. How long you are going to? Not that you have understood, but you are fed up. You always want more, some change. Is it not? If you have understood and say, no, we will go to the next, it is fun. But it is not that you have understood. But even then you want to change. I will also change the topic. Okay? Yatha swapne dvaya bhasam spandade mayaya manaham तथा जाग्रद्वया भासम स्पंदते मायया मनः. So what happens? What is that spandanam of Maya? I mean mind vibrates. Spandanam, chitta spandanam. Okay? Now how does it happen? Through Maya. The Maya only makes the mind go on shaking as though. Again, as though. That word is always used. Iva. As though. Now he says the mind vibrates through Maya into the appearance of duality. You are looking through your mind. That is why you are seeing the world. Suppose there is no mind. There is no world. When? Deep sleep, murcha, unconsciousness. At that time there is no world. So then, by the Anvaya Vedireka Prakriya, Anvayam, coexistence and co-absence, Anvaya Vedireka. Vedireka is absence. So, when the mind is there, the world is there. And when the mind is not there, Vedireka. The world is not there. So, the world is what? Mind only. Mind's chanchalata. Spandanam there means it just vibrates. There's a book written by somebody. The vibrating world. Chalanatmagam jagat. You have heard that? This world, its chalanam has stopped. It's not there. Suppose for a minute, you stop all movements. Even when there is some, we pay our respects to say dead somebody. Then the whole, what a funny feeling it is. You say at 11 o'clock, all will stand where they are. Some eerie feeling comes to you. This world is there only because of its movement is the very essence of the world. Have you understood? And when the movement stops, you are in the Paramatma. Why? Because mind is also starting from the consciousness. You understand? So when the mind is not moving, where are you? In the consciousness. That is the whole process behind meditation. Nothing else. When by hook or by crook, kena prakarena, I have brought the mind to quietude by practice again and again, daily. What happens? Suddenly all movement of the mind stops. There is, like Gurudev says, no new thought is thoughting. Some funny words he uses for you to take care, to take interest. When the last thought is thoughted, all thoughts are spandanam of the mind. Doesn't seem to be singing. Have you understood this point? So when you look at the world through a vibrating mind, it looks as though the world is also moving and world is full of activity. I am looking at it through my mind. That is what he says here. How this spandana and duality of grahya grahaga bhavam takes place in both the dream and the waking state. There is the subject and there is a object. In the mind also, when you are seeing, what you see is also the mind. What sees is also the mind. Mind takes the grahya grahaka bhavan. The cognizer cognized the relationship. And it shakes all the time. So spandanam is there in both the dream and the waking state. Now this spandanam of the mind is due to maya and is unreal. Mind itself is not. We cannot say it is maya because mind also takes birth from the consciousness. And yesterday Gurudev had explained it. Every thought is consciousness plus object. And if the objective, that spandanam of the objective world is not there, then what is there? Only consciousness. You awaken into that state of consciousness. But if you are consciously trying to prevent the mind from thinking, then you will have greater problems. That is, you are suppressing the mind. Don't suppress the mind. In meditation, don't ever try to suppress the mind. Don't react to the mind and just watch. That's why watching the mind is a very efficient way of coming to that still mind. Still mind is mind without spandanam. Is it clear? So, you just watch the mind and don't even react. She said something bad about you. Mentally you say, I'm not interested. See, all gossip is because you are interested. Otherwise there will be no gossip at all. Is it not? Suppose somebody is telling something. You say, no, I don't want to hear all that. Then that person becomes cheesed off and never come near you. But you, what happened? Then what happened? Then what happened? Then finished. A huge, what was only this much will become this much. Story. And who is the encourager? You yourself. So then gossip is not a one-way affair. It's a two-way affair. The spandanam of the mind should stop. How you stop it is your problem. Sometimes we stop it by great bhakti. And the whole mind is immersed in the Lord. And no other thought is rising except the thought of the Lord. And it will come to it. And then you get into saguna, samprajnada samadhi, saguna dhyanam. Is it clear? This verse is very clear, I think. The mind is due to maya and is unreal. Seen from the standpoint of the substratum, the mind is real. But the spandanam is due to maya. That is the difficulty. From the point of view of the substratum, mind is real only. Because mind is an offshoot of the consciousness and its content is consciousness. Do you understand? So with the mind, manameva karanam bandha mokshayoho, says the scripture, manameva karanam. And you must take hold of the mind and bring it to its reality and not allowing it to go on vibrating in the unreal world that you see. Oh yeah, what is the verse now? The verse is, he says, Sadohi Maya Yada Swapne Dvayabhasam Spandade Mayaya Manaha. Mind in the Swapna, what happens? Mind vibrates and you see the Swapna. Is the Swapna real? Dvayabhasam. Dvayabhasam means when mind stops, there is neither a dream world nor a waking world. When the mind spandanam has stopped, there is none of these two worlds are there. And then what is there? Pure consciousness is there. So, until and unless you gain control over the mind and its spandanam, you are far away from realizing the truth. It's the mind that stands between you and the realization of the truth. And how does it prevent you from knowing? By the all this you say in the meditation, that every time complain. My mind runs here and there. I said, one day I told somebody, but my mind doesn't. That means you can reach that state. When, by constant practice, abhyasena tu vairagyena. And vairagya should be there. Not that you say, quietly when you are sitting only, you think about all things in the world. When there is no thought, then you start thinking, I must go to the shop today, new sarees come there. And one whole reverie starts. Have you understood? What is, when it comes, that rare opportunity of getting the mind to sink in itself. It's a better word. It sinks in itself. Then you are in meditation. Okay. Dvayabhase spandade, there is no srishti, but only the mind's vibration. The mind's vibration is what we call srishti. And hence Ramana Maharshi and others say, what is manomayam bhuvanam vadami. All this world is nothing but manomayam. Mind alone is the creator of the whole world. And mind is the seed, as it were, and the jagat is the spandanam of the mind, the vriksham. From the seed only vriksha comes, The seed is the mind, the vriksha is the jagat. Which jagat? The mithya jagat that we see, created by the spandanam of the mind. See, if you are looking at the world through a pair of glasses, according to the quality of those glasses, you will see the world. If there is a defect in your glass, the whole thing becomes very hazy. Convex lens or something is what, then the whole thing, it doesn't, what should be standing like this will be standing like this, upside down. So everything is, mind is a seed, he says, and dvayabhasam. What is that dvayabhasam? Grahya grahaka bhav. Is there in good. Remember, grahya grahaka bhavam is there in the dream. Grahya grahaka bhavam is in the waking world. The cognizer, kshetrajna, kshetra. And what is cognized? Kshetram. Who is the cognizer? Kshetrajna. So there is no object to be seen as in meditation. Then what happens? Only the consciousness is there, because kshetrajna minus kshetra is not knower but knowledge, consciousness. Jnapti Swarupa. Jnapti, knowing principle. Have you understood this? So, when you have succeeded in stopping all thoughts because you have turned your mind to that, until and unless Atma Samstam Manakrutva na kinchida vichintayed in this world. That is called meditation. So I have turned my attention to that higher, and the lower has faded away from me. Then what will happen? There are no objects. What will remain? What is a thought? Consciousness plus object. Objects are faded away in the deep moment of meditation. Then what is remaining? Only consciousness. That is called realization. You know, meditation is an art. So no teacher can teach you. Let us be very frank. If somebody says, you come to my class and 500 rupees per head or something like that, can you put a price on all these things? It's ridiculous it is. Cannot put any price. So you go with great expectation and nothing happens there. Why? Because nothing can happen. You yourself have to come to own your nature, not somebody else can own it for you. Nobody can. I can do only so much. I can tell you how you can move towards it. But the horse can be taken to the pond, but you cannot drink for the horse. It has to drink by itself. Understood? So Gurudev always says meditation is not a noun. Meditation is not a verb. It is a noun. Why noun? It happens. Then, don't know. When you are available, it happens. When all thoughts have receded from the mind, when the spandanam has stopped, when it has become totally still, when the mind becomes still, the whole body becomes still. Then you don't even remember your leg has got some pain. You don't remember any pain. Why? Because your mind is not in the world of objects. That is, then meditation happens. So meditation is verb or noun. I am going to meditate. No. You cannot meditate. You can sit waiting for meditation. It will happen when the mind is properly tuned. See, when you are listening to the radio, you have to go on tuning it. Then only you get the sound which has clarity. Until you get that clarity, you will go on doing like this. Is it not? Now nobody knows. In another century, in another 10 years, children won't know what is a radio. That also will go out of the market. They'll only know. What is that thing? Little thing? iPod. Anyway. Is it clear? Dvaya bhasam, that grahya grahaka bhavam of the mind will stop. And then there is no spandanam. And when there is no spandanam, what remains is pure consciousness. Tatha jagrad dvaya bhasam spandade mayaya mana. And how does this dvaya bhasam comes, this grahya grahaka bhavam comes? Because of maya. So mayaya, seeming duality, happens. There is no srishti but this mind in vibration. That is srishti. Otherwise, there is no srishti. And what is your effort in meditation? To bring the mind and the body to stillness. When everything else has dropped, you have a window peep into yourself. Your real nature, the consciousness. So, the dream world, there is something called a Praudavadam, which says the dream world is Jiva Srishti. Not created by the dream world, is your own waking mind projecting. Is it not? That is called Jiva Srishti. Bhagavan didn't create the dream world. Bhagavan created the waking world. Let us say Ishvara Srishti. This is called Ishvara Srishti. But the dream world is your own making. I have created the dream world myself and see the dream. Having created it, you enjoy the dream or suffer the dream, whatever. Praudavada. Prauda. That is Sanskrit word. Praudavada. So, the waking world is Ishvara Srishti, we say, since others also see it. Is it not? Because not only the world is seen by me, the world is seen by everybody. Because this world is made for everybody. Everybody's, thoughts are there. I want to enjoy, or I want to get a karma phala of some type, that is there in that world. You understand? She has to get different type of karma phala, that is also there. So this world is not meant only for any one individual, but all the individuals. Hence it is called Ishvara Srishti. But don't think that I am giving any reality to the Srishti. I don't. I am a truly Gaudaba Das Shishya. So, I don't. But this is all one way of Arthavadas, these are all. One way of saying it. The waking world is Ishvara Srishti, since others also see it. But the waking world also is Jiva Srishti, since the Jiva sees the others seeing the waking world. Is it not? So it's also Jiva Srishti. So what is the waking world and the dream world? Both are projections of the mind. Jiva Srishti. Now, continuing, he says, just as in the dream, the agitated mind creates a delusory dream world and the dreamer identifies himself with it, takes it to be real and gains experience thereunder. So too in the waking state, the waker's mind being agitated projects itself to a world of delusory plurality and he gains therein the experiences of a world seemingly real for him for the time being. Is it real? Hereafter what you must say? Have you gone mad or something, they'll ask. And they must say, no, it is seemingly real. What you should say? It's seemingly real, but not really real. You know what it means? But not really real. It's not really real. Okay, continuing he says, Advayam cha dvaya bhasam manaswapnena samshayaha Advayam cha dvaya bhasam tatha jagranna samshayaha Advayam cha dvaya bhasam. What is that? The one mind. Advayam here means the one mind. Due to lack of discrimination. Gurudev, what is it? 90% or something and all he was saying. The discrimination is not fully available. That is what I have written also. Due to lack of proper discrimination, Viveka is not there. So what will happen? Grahya Grahaka Rupa will come and the Spandanam will come and then you see a Mithya world. So what is it due to? Due to misunderstanding. Discrimination is not there means what is real and what is unreal, about this there is a lack of discrimination. When it is 90%, the world is very, very real. Avivekat, we should say. Avivekat, we are seeing the world. Otherwise, you are seeing the world still, but I know you are all a Maya. I have seen the mirage and have experienced, Vivekam has come to me when I went to the mirage and saw there is only hot sand and there is no water there. Is it not? Once I have experienced, the Vivekam has come. What? About what? About the non-availability of water in a mirage. Only once. 100% Vivekam has come. Thereafter, I may see 100 mirages, but I never run. I may be dying of thirst, but I'll never run to a mirage. Is it not? So what is this that I am seeing? Avivekam. Because of my ignorance, which is called avidya, which is called all types of names are given. Maya. Total is called Maya. Individual is called avidya. Due to that indiscrimination in us, the percentage becomes lesser and lesser by going to satsangs, by studying the scriptures, by doing little sadhanas. And Viveka will come. And when Viveka comes, so I know you are a mere imaginary nothing. You can't cheat me, tell the world. Because I know you. I have the discrimination to know you. Lack of discrimination leads to grahya grahaka. The one mind itself appears as the pluralistic vision of dream. Similarly, that dvayabhasam, that pluralistic dream is also by that one mind. The illusory plurality also is because of that one mind. My waking mind itself is seeing the plurality of the world. My waking mind itself is the dreamer and the dream world and everything. So, whose mischief is this? The mind's. And how do I conquer it? By conquering the mind. I will kill the mind. Like that some people say. When somebody was going to a Gurukula or something and the student is going on fighting with something on the wall. So the teacher asked, what are you doing? I am fighting with my mind. How can you fight with your mind? On the wall. It's a shadow fight. You understand? You cannot fight with your mind. You can only win the mind by discrimination. Is that clear? That discrimination is the Vivek. Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekam, which is one of the sadhanas, the sadhana chadushtaya sambanna adhikari, and he has got fourfold sadhanas, Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekam, and born out of that Vivekam, Vairagyam. Not some Apat Vairagyam. Apat Vairagyam means the husband died or the wife died, whatever. Wife died is better. So, and suddenly he became a Vairagi. I am going to the Himalayas, what is the use of life, blah, 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 blah. Then, the day she died, little babies are there. So, third day, fourth day, all the hopefuls in the neighborhood will bring proposals. Now he is free. Wife is gone. And then he will say, now I am getting married. Who will look after these children? I mean, he has a point. You understand? Then why did you say you are having vairagyam and you are going away to Himalaya? That is called apat vairagyam. You understand? Not real vairagyam. Vairagyam born out of vivekam. Only is vairagyam. So now I know all this is a unreal world. The joys you get out of it is finite. Hence I am not after them. My pursuit has changed. Now my pursuit is for the permanent, the real happiness, which is only turning my attention to the higher from the lower. Okay? That is called real vairagya. Okay, Viveka Vairagya. And though we may be wanting to reach there, you have to have developed so many qualities, spiritual qualities called Shamadhi, Shatka Sambatti. The sixfold virtues have to be cultivated. Shama, Dama, Tidiksha, Samadhanam, etc. Shraddha. All these good qualities you have to develop. So, half your life will go only in developing that. Because Shama itself is so difficult. Control of the mind. Dama, control of the sense organs. Huh? And Tidiksha, Sahanam Sarvadukhanam Pradegara Purvagam Chinta Vilaparahidam Tam Tidiksha Nigadyate. How beautifully Vivek Chudamani gives these verses. All this has to be cultivated. Are you doing all that? Merely reading book will not. If I read the recipe book, it doesn't become food on my table. Is it not? You can see in the picture, nice, beautiful pictures. And all pictures look beautiful. But when we make it looks like a limp. Everybody knows. So also, by merely reading the book, what a learned man he is. Learned man he may be. He's a scholar, but not a realized man. Not a man who has reached that still state in his mind. In deep moments of meditation, he goes on a journey which is inward. The modern children is like that. They have so many books. If you look at the book, by that time this would have become, whatever you kept on the stove would have become black. It is an art, kala, pachaka kala. One old lady tells her, elderly daughter-in-law, you cook, but I will do the seasoning, because your seasoning is so bad that your food doesn't taste good. So remember this. The moment the mind becomes quiet, by whatever method. Whatever the method doesn't mean some external method, drug. No viveka in those methods, drug and drink and all that. Not that external. By whatever method means whatever sadhana. You come to a state, that is why you require time. Actually, in a half an hour meditation, it's only 5 minutes or so that you will be in that still state. Not all the other 25 minutes is to prepare the mind for that stillness. And then you get a window peep in the nature of the mind, which is consciousness, and you experience great peace, great joy. But I don't know, people have a sort of reluctance to meditate. I don't know why. Yeah. You should, in the initial stages, you should force your mind to sit. Come, I am going to meditate. You want to come, you come, or else you go wherever you want. I don't care. When the mind comes to know you are serious about this, then the mind will come round. This I have experienced it, I am telling you. It will come round. And thereafter, after 3 or 4 months of continuous practice of meditation, mind itself will say, come on, let us meditate. Time is for meditation now. Mind is a creature of habit. And it will come. And it will become quiet also suddenly. Because it has been doing it for so many months. But if you allow it freedom, it will say, no, meditation. Let me sleep some more. Go off to sleep. Have you understood? So, all that is in Advayam cha dvayabhasam manas swapne na samshaya. The non-dual mind becomes the subject, the object, and the experience of the dreamer. Similarly, there cannot be and he gives another reason why the mind is advaya, why the mind is non-dual, because there cannot be creation, advaya, before and after dissolution, and only dvaya in between is not possible. Where did we read that? Ada vandaucha. In that verse we have seen that which is there in the beginning, that which is not there in the beginning, and it is not there in the end, cannot be there in the middle. So you cannot say the mind is not there in the beginning and the mind is not there after the dissolution, that is after sleep, let us say. Mind is not there in the sleep, but when you get up, it is there. Again you went to sleep, it is not there. So in the beginning and in the end it is not there. It cannot be there in the middle also. Is it not? It is non-dual. Because of that, he says there cannot be a creation. Advayam is there before and after dissolution, and only Dvaida Bhava comes in between. And that Dvaida Bhava cannot be what you see, Vartamanebi, it is not there. Even in the present, it is not there. What you don't see in the beginning, what you don't see in the after, cannot be there in the middle, is said in the previous verses. And hence, mind is always dvayabhasam, the illusory plurality, and all this yesterday Gurudev had explained very, very beautifully. But the next verse is very difficult, and we will start it and leave it at that. 20 to 30 shlokas are actually explaining Ajadivada. 20th to 30th, verse 20 to 30. The very earth, the very body of the dreamer moving about in the dream are nothing but the dreamer's own mind. When he is awakened, he realizes that the non-dual mind itself gets shattered into its various delusory objects of the dream world. So when will I know that the waking world also is a dream? When I wake. Wake to what? Wake to what? To the higher. When I really awaken into the higher state of consciousness, I know this waking world also is a dream. This ego is all imaginary. Imaginary ego gives so much trouble. So, if it is real, what will be the position? There is no ego is the reality. Ego is a misconception again. Non-dual mind itself becomes the dreamer, and here Gurudev writes, so too if you are awakened, and he puts A in capital letter, means awakening to what? The higher state. Awakened, we shall realize that the pluralistic world perceived is nothing other than the waker's own mind. And agitated by its own inner turmoils and splashed with its own ignorance. Gurudev's language, not easy to understand. So many people say English we can't follow Gurudev's. So we don't read that book. Read our own Malayalam, Tamil, those books. But I enjoy only Gurudev's because I have heard it, I have studied it in Gurudev's time. You understand? So the language also is very much known, familiar. Let us say, familiar with that language. This realization can come only when we are fully awakened from the dream of the world into the realm of pure knowledge. And I realize means I entered the realm of pure knowledge. From the standpoint of absolute knowledge, I come to realize what I knew in the waking world is also unreal. Though, from the point of view of the dreamer, the waking world has more reality. You understand? But from the point of view of the realized man, the waking world has no reality. And the waking world sorrows and joys are all illusory. So when you awaken to your own true nature, what happens? What will happen? The whole gamut of your past joys and sorrows, everything will be wiped out. Just as when you wake up from the dream into the waking world, as a waker, then all the sorrows and joys you are experienced in the dream is wiped out, as it were, clean. Similarly, when you wake, that's why I don't want to get realized. Why? I don't mind the sorrows going, but not the joys. You're the only little joys I have. That will go me, I don't know. I don't want to realize only. Such fools are also there. Yes, I have heard people saying that. We argue with the teachers and all when I was teaching. Then they will say, anyway, there are only relative joys we will get. I'm happy with that. I don't want any further joy. Yes. Namaskaram. I tell her. Have you understood? Those who think big only will become big, not others. You are happy with the mediocrity. Like India. India is the only country in the world which wants to desperately to make it mediocre. No other country. Every other country wants to progress. We keep it mediocre. Why? Then only votes will come. Reservation. That. Reservation means what? Another name for keeping the country mediocre. That is called reservation. The 95 marks when a child gets in the forward caste, he is not given a seat in a medical college, in the engineering college, in that college. So he runs off to America. But 35 marks is enough for reserved people. So what will be the future doctors and engineers and all? 35% efficiency. You understand? That is what's happening now. That is why I say we are the only country who wants to remain mediocre. Then only this type of politicians can survive. Very sad. And then he says in the next verse, we'll just read it and do it afterwards. Realm of pure knowledge. Seeing through the mind, I see a creation. The mind is set to rest. And it is in, in stillness, I do not see a world at all. So that world which comes and goes cannot be real. A world that comes and goes is not real. Trikala abhadita vastu is satyam. It is not satyam. In meditation also it is not there. Vivekananda ji, when he realized, he shouted at, where is the world gone? I just saw it now. Where is the world gone? You understand? So that is what will happen to man who realizes. We'll stop there and we'll continue next class.